Hello guys, today we're going to take a look at Fansproject's code, which is also known as Chromedome from the Japanese Headmasters. Now this is a very nice representation of the original G1 that was released in the late 80s. The overall design, color scheme, and the fact that his accessories are implemented into his car mode along with his robot mode is just really nice. They did a really fantastic job with this figure, even though I do have a few complaints. He does roll quite nice. The guns do have a tilt here in the handle, so instead of just this is the way they would be if they were in his robot hands. They made the tilt just so they can kind of go forward just a little bit. Taking a look at his weapons here, he does come with two of these. Here's that tilt I was talking about. The mold of the gun is quite nice, and the fact that they added a few little paint applications here, just the two, breaks it up and doesn't make it look as boring if it was just all red. Now looking at the paint detail with him, he's mostly just brown and beige, but you do see some nice red along here, some white, some red here as well. You see some orange here at the front along this here as well. The black and white here in the back, just overall design, really dig this guy. On the bottom, you can definitely see that he's a robot in disguise. I mean, those are obviously fists, but I mean, you're not going to be able to hide everything. Customizers, you might add some orange paint on the inside of those little slots right there, and maybe here on the sides as well. Just because it's really not going to hinder the way that he looks in robot mode, just because this is going to be his heel, and this is going to be the bottom of his foot. Now let's go ahead and do some size comparisons here. Did bring in G1 smokescreen. There's pretty much the length of them. So Chromedome or code is a little bit longer than as far as the width goes. There they are. And have one more size comparison whenever he's in car mode. Here you have G1 Rodimus Prime, and there they are side by side as well. So let's go ahead and get this guy transformed. The first thing that we're going to do is take his little head out. You're going to pull this back just like so, and I'm going to have to flip his little hands up so I can get in there. This section right here, this little, I guess, steering column, you pull this up, and then you can pull him out. And what you'll do is there's that, if you can see this, there's like a little hole there right between his crotch and his knees. It will fit on this peg right in there, if you can see that. Yep, there you go. So you push that back down. And here's one of the negatives that I have whenever he's in car mode. If you can see this, how it's kind of started to scratch up on my plastic. Whenever I come down with this, it starts to really rub, and you kind of have to get it up under there. So that's something that I wish, I'm going to have to file that down or do something to it, just because it kind of bothers me a little bit. It worries me. But let's take a look at this guy right here. Just a cute little dude. If I can get him focused in. His face is a little, I mean, it's kind of an orange looking, or kind of like a peach. I know it might show up yellow because of the light, but you have some nice detail here in the fist. So very nice there with the legs. You do have a little bit of articulation here with the arms here. The legs are individually articulated here at the thigh. The knee bends as well. And I guess you could say he's got a little bit of ab crunch, but that's pretty much for the transformation. So let's go ahead and do that with this guy. You're going to put these arms down. And one of the cool things with this, you can see, or you can't see the eyes here, but as you pull down with this section, there the eyes appear, and then you fold his legs up just like so. So not exactly like the original G1, but pretty similar. And this head is not too bad. At first, whenever I saw this guy in pictures, I was kind of like, the head doesn't look that great, but I do like it now. It's very detailed, and as small as it is, there's really no paint splatter anywhere on this guy. So that's something that I kind of had a concern with, but it turned out to be a fantastic job on the head. So putting that to the side, the first thing that we're going to do with this guy is pull up on this section. You just kind of want to separate this. It's just kind of holding in by those two little sections there. Pull up on that. Go ahead and pull up on this as well. And just kind of leave them both setting up just like so. Then with this, I'm going to pull this out and do the same with this one as well. Come down with these legs. And let me adjust the camera for you so I can make sure you can see everything. Come down just like so. Lift this up. You're going to rotate here at the thigh to where the wheel is facing forward. Do the same with that one. Come down with the foot, not all the way, but just a little bit, so you can rotate here come back with that, and up with the foot. Do the same with this one as well. You just want to come back just a little so you can rotate, come up with that, and then there's the foot. Then with this section here, you're going to rotate, going to collapse this in just like so, and then here's where the transformation gets really cool. Yeah, hopefully that was all on camera there. As you can see, this section, or this little hood, is connected to the waist piece, but the way that it lines up, you can see that there's an open section here to where this hood is actually going to slide up on this section. So once you get that lined up, you can slide the hood up, and now it's up on his upper torso. Then with this back section, you can split these arms out, go ahead and flip these up, pull the hands out. The same with this one as well. And just kind of pull those out and around. Then have this all the way up. You pull these down in, and the window or cockpit area will kind of just slide over these sections to where it kind of locks in the shoulder area. Pull his crotch up, and you pretty much have him transform. Just rotate his wrist, add his head and his guns. Before we add his guns, I do want to go over the articulation of him real quick. So he can rotate his head just like so. He can bend it forward a little bit. There's this little joint that holds his head in there, which comes, back and forth. But if you're going to bend it all, you probably maybe just do it a little bit, because if you do it too much, it kind of looks a little bit silly. But his head does rotate 360. His arms go 360. They kind of go in and out as well. They are hindered a little bit right there, but it will hinder some of the poses that you might want to make, but you can still make some pretty decent ones. You can rotate here at the bicep, bend at the elbow almost 90 degrees, so pretty nice there. He can also kind of come up with his fist, and you kind of close that, I guess, if you wanted to, but just really rotate here at the wrist. Then with the waist, this goes 360 degrees. The legs, almost fully posable, but it doesn't really go in and out very much, so you can't really separate there. It does rotate at the thigh, bends quite a bit here at the knee, so they're double jointed knees, and the foot can go down, I guess, if you wanted to, but it doesn't have any tilt to it, which is something that I really wish it did. But again, you can get this guy some pretty decent poses. Go ahead and put him into one right now. And I was able to get this guy on second wave, so I was able to get him for $68. I know that on third wave, I believe he's going to be a little bit more. And we'll just back that up so you can see this. And if you get him on the secondary market, I know he's going to be quite a bit. But me, I'm a fan of the Headmasters, so I plan on collecting all of them. So this is a guy that I had to get, and I was happy that I was able to get him for $68. Should you pay more than that? I'd probably pay a little bit more. I don't know how much, because there's definitely going to be better figures than him. I think Weird Wolf is probably going to be one of the best looking Headmaster figures, or even best looking toys coming out for 2013. But this guy is really nice. I do like him. The posability, like I said, in these shoulders, you really can't go in and out that much, but that's quite good. I think that's decent for a decent pose. That's probably the way I'm going to put him on my shelf. Now let's get him a size comparison with a couple of G1s. Here is Cyclonus, and here is G1 Hot Rod. And we did a size comparison with Smokescreen. Here's the same size figure, Prowl. So as you can see, that he just kind of transforms into a much larger robot than whenever he was in his car mode. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully this was able to help you make the decision on whether you should pick this figure up or not. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll talk to you later.